Oh. I was just trying to figure out the different chat settings. I never live stream, so this is what we got. I decided I was gonna bake today, which I've been doing like almost every other day. And so today I decided I was going to, I wanted to bake white cake at first, but I forgot to put out some butter to soften at room temperature, so I had to find a recipe that didn't need softened butter. Because I don't like microwaving the butter if it's meant to be room temperature. So today we're doing a pumpkin spice latte cake, which is something I wanted to do for fall, is make a fall bake. I'm not really the biggest fall flavoring person, but I know other people really enjoy it, so that being said, I'm gonna get out all these ingredients and then we're gonna start putting it together. And then we're gonna put it in the oven and we're gonna bake it together. I think it says 350. Okie dokie. So it says all-purpose flour, which I have just a very little bit left in that bag. And then I have a big bag of baking powder and baking soda. Always get them confused. That's why I check like 8,000 times before I put it in the recipe. Salt, which I have over here. I did just make this chocolate pound cake. It turned out pretty good. So I do have that. Currently, spiced pumpkin pie spice. Just something I don't cook with very often. And it also calls for ground cinnamon, which is already in the pumpkin pie spice. So I don't know if I'm gonna add any extra cinnamon because I don't want it to be too much. Oops. And I got these really cute Halloween sprinkles, but I didn't get a chance to use them because, well, I got the Halloween sprinkles because I baked a bunch of stuff for Halloween to give out to all the trick-or-treaters, and I was gonna bake like a chocolate cake with chocolate frosting in my like mini cake pans, and this was gonna be the sprinkles, but I ran out of time to actually do that, so they're unused. And they don't expire until MA 2026, so May or March. We'll figure it out. Hopefully I use them before then. Pumpkin puree. Light brown sugar, granulated sugar, which is just white sugar. But yeah, I've been doing a lot of baking recently, just trying to test out different recipes and stuff like that, because that's like kind of like a side business I'm trying to get into, is baked goods. Because like cooking and baking is like one of my favorite things to do. And you know, when I graduated high school, I really wanted to go to culinary school, but my parents were very, very unsupportive of that. So I was pushed into other endeavors that I didn't really want to be part of, because it was not my life's passion. Yeah, I know I haven't done a live in like a really long time. I really have to like, I really wanted to get into doing them, but I don't have like a moderator for the chat, like somebody to moderate the chat at all. And I was getting like really, really disturbing messages. So I just got real burnt out real quick with doing it, so I didn't want to. Oh no. I'm like laughing, trying to keep it light, but like they really bothered me. Vanilla extract. We need vegetable oil, which I use canola oil. It's supposed to be healthier for you, but it's still like a weirdo oil that comes from somewhere, so who knows? It's not good for you or not. Oh, and I'm gonna show you. These are like little like candies that I'm gonna put on top of the cakes. These totally aren't my favorite kind of candy, but I thought they would be really cute on top of these cakes. Because I like to have like a little sort of decoration on them, not just the frosting. And I normally cook with the vent on, but it's kind of loud. And to be honest, most vents are connected to something that goes outside, and this one isn't. It just pushes the air back up into the ceiling, which is super weird. So it kind of defeats the purpose of having a vent. I don't know why they designed it this way, and it's not our house, so I can't fix it. The other thing we need is sour cream, but I don't want it to sit out. So we have the 2 eggs. Those eggs can sit out though. Eggs can sit out to get to room temperature, but like once they get room temperature, you shouldn't put them back in the fridge because they'll get gross. Then you could get really sick. We don't want to do that. And butter too. Butter is supposed to be like, some people keep butter out. I wasn't really raised keeping butter out. I know in a lot of like European countries they do that. They keep the butter out on the counter or in a container. I'm assuming because it's made differently than ours and it has less preservatives in there. Jeez Louise, sorry. Okie dokie. I hope you're having a good morning. I see that. But it's not morning here. But I hope you're having a really good morning. It is currently super cloudy out here. And it is almost 3 o'clock. Okie dokie. I'm probably gonna open this new bag because I'm gonna make a mess with a smaller bag. But I recently learned the correct way to scoop flour, so I am gonna show you guys how to do it too. I also grew up watching a lot of cooking shows, and I got out of that when me and my partner got together because they never liked watching them. We were always together all the time, so we had to watch something that we both liked. Spin. And they didn't like cooking shows or watching them with me. So they've recently gotten back into it. Most recipes, they pair like dry ingredients, and then after you have all the dry ingredients mixed together, then you get the wet ingredients. So let's see what this one says. And normally when you have a recipe, they give you each item in the order that they go in, except for the other day when I was trying to make this pound cake. The like ingredients were like all over the place, so it was really hard to like get a grip on what was going on. Okay, yeah, it says whisk flour, baking powder, baking soda, salt, pie spice, and cinnamon until combined. Set aside. And I'm a very big person where I like make adjustments to different recipes while I'm making them based on the way they like look and smell. I try not to like, I always bake stuff like I'm baking it for other people to eat, like that don't live here. So I try not to taste stuff while I'm baking it or making it. So I normally go off of the way it looks and the way it smells. And I only really taste stuff when it's baked. And the frosting with this one's cool. It's like a espresso flavored frosting, and I've been trying to look for recipes that use espresso powder or even like coffee powder, because I bought some like a year ago to make tiramisu and I never made it. So now it's about to expire in December, so I'm trying to use all of the espresso powder. And then there's this creator on TikTok that was getting super crazy big and popular, and mostly because of the way she drinks her coffee, and she was using instant coffee to make iced coffee drinks. And I'm a really big iced coffee person. I don't really like hot coffees. I only like sometimes like seasonal coffees that are hot, but other than that, I don't really like hot coffee. So I figured that would be like a good way for me to be able to make, no, terrible idea. It was gross. And it was so strong. And oh man, it made me so sick. It was not cute. Okay, so let me show you how to properly scoop the flour. I wish I had like those countertop canisters where you put all of your ingredients, because they have like wider openings, so it would be easier to show you this. But we got the bag. Okay, so you take your scoop and you put it in the cup, scoop it in the cup. I don't know how to show that to you better, like that. You take your scoop. I'm trying not to make a mess, because I made a really big mess when I tried to do this the other day. And I was not trying to show other people how to do it. I was just baking. And then what you do is you try to level it off. Because when I was baking all the ingredients, or baking all of the things and cakes and treats and stuff for Halloween that required flour. I went through so much flour, and all the recipes were like, you need a countertop scale to make sure you use the right amount of ingredients. Well, I don't cook like that. So I was like, why in the heck am I going through so much flour? There's no way I'm gonna normally go through this much flour. Well, you know, I'm not. It's because I was scooping the flour wrong, which is like, who knew there was a right way? But apparently somebody did, because this is how you do it. And I figured this out watching a cooking show very recently. So this is 1 cup. There's 1 cup of flour and 2 tablespoons. And this is a 2 tablespoon that we're just gonna scoop into. Yeah, I wanted to make white cake so I could like decorate it with all different sorts of like flavors and toppings and stuff like that. But I didn't leave the butter out like I was supposed to. And then, so then I was trying to go through and look at the other recipes that I could do that didn't require room temp butter, and this was like the only one. Unless I was gonna make Rice Krispie treats, which those are kind of a pain in the butt to make, to be totally honest, so I only make them sometimes. And you think like, okay, so it wouldn't be so hard to make if I had a really big bowl, but I don't. This is the biggest bowl I have. Well, I did just buy one from Home Goods that has like higher sides, but I'm not sure it has a more capacity. And it's super heavy. Okay, 1 teaspoon baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon baking soda. So we're gonna get 1/2 teaspoon out. The one thing that sucks about like baking legitimately and being like a state approved home baker is you have to oh my goodness, you have to turn in all of your recipes, and all of the ingredients have to be weighed. And that is because when you make your labels, you have to put all the ingredients in order of weight. So that has been like, trying to go through this process has been like a real like learning experience of how like much work it is just to try to get into doing this, which I never assumed it was going to be like easy peasy lemon squeezy, but there's like a lot more regulations required by the state. But when you sometimes see people selling this stuff, it's not things they always follow. Okay, so it says a teaspoon and a half of pumpkin spice, or pumpkin pie spice. Let's see if the spoon will fit in there. I'm not the biggest like holiday smells person either. I said 1.5, right? Yep. And I think primarily because I really don't care for the smell of cinnamon. Just not my jam. And then the next one is 1/2 teaspoon. So we'll see how it turns out. Let's just rinse this off real quick. Just want to make sure there's not any water on there, because if there is, cinnamon will stick to the spoon. We don't want that. I mean, it's not the end of the world. 1 cup canned pumpkin puree, not pumpkin filling. So we're gonna whisk all this stuff together. I have like an actual whisk, but I don't like getting it all dirty if it's just something like this. They want you to put it all in another separate bowl. Probably should have put this in the smaller bowl. Okie dokie. 1 can of pumpkin puree. And oh my goodness, last year I made pumpkin pie for Thanksgiving, and when I bought the can of pumpkin puree at Target, it was like a really, really big can, and I was like, but it was the only one they had. And I was like, okay, I guess this is how much pumpkin puree you need to make a pumpkin pie. No, that was a can for enough pumpkin puree to make 2 pies. So that's what I did. I made 2 pies. And we only ate like 1 because I'm not a really big pumpkin pie fan. I just like the way the crust tastes after the pumpkin pie has been, like the filling has been on it. If that makes any sense. And the people we lived by, our neighbors, weren't really the nicest people, so I didn't really feel inclined to give it to them. I mean, they were okay, but there were people who were like nice to your face, but like tried to start shit with your landlord for no reason. And then, they were super duper nosy too. And the woman was just like way too interested in my daughter. And it was like, I was not okay with it. Okay, it says 1/3 cup light brown sugar and 2/3 cup granulated sugar. So we're gonna do the white sugar first. And I was like really conflicted about like what way I should angle the live. I didn't think if it was like, what is it? Horizontal, right? Yeah, horizontal. You would be able to see most of this stuff because it's either like me and the bowl or just like this part of me and the bowl, which I mean, some people might not mind, but I want to be able to talk with you. So 2/3 cups. And it normally doesn't really take me this long to put all this stuff together. It's just a little bit longer because of talking at the same time. That's why I'm like checking the ingredients like 8 times before I put it in. Because they don't normally talk this much, do they? So we have our next thing we need is the sour cream and the oil. Sour cream is a 1/4 cup. Why are these all like weirdo sizings? I bought these peonies at the grocery store like 2 days ago and they're already like wilting and dying. It's like, what the heck? And this is a little spatula that I got with my new bowl. Okay, sour cream. And I would like something to drink, so I'm gonna drink this cream soda. It's the last one in the fridge. I'm gonna treat myself. Okay, sour cream. Sour cream. And I also learned like a really good substitute for buttermilk is actually like watered down sour cream, which is kind of weird because I don't think buttermilk and sour cream really taste the same. But a lot of bakers do that because buttermilk goes bad really, really fast. And if you're not like using it all, it's like a real waste of money. Because it's not really that cheap. And it's like crazy to find how many recipes use sour cream in it because like sour cream, I don't know what other countries sour cream tastes like, but our sour cream in the US is like a little tangy, I would say. More of like a savory flavor, I guess, not something that's sweet. So you think it's kind of weird they'll be going into like a sweet dessert, but it's actually to give I believe it's moisture and density to specifically cakes, because this pound cake had sour cream in it. It's actually called a chocolate chip sour cream pound cake or something like that. I have the recipe somewhere. Okay, and then you could have used plain yogurt too for this, I guess. Not non-fat, which I do have some yogurt, but that is for my daughter, not my baked goods. A 1/4 cup of canola oil. Canola oil. I did create some more content earlier before I started this live for everybody. I have a bunch of random content made that I already have scheduled to upload. But what I worked on was like the channel member exclusive videos, and I did a fabric scratching video too. Not in this outfit though, something else. I put this on because I figured it was more baking appropriate attire. Since I've gotten so much more into like baking and like uploading my baking content to like TikTok, because all the videos are too long for my baking videos are all too long to be on YouTube Shorts, and if I cut them up, they would just look stupid. So during the week, I've been regularly making like my baking and cooking content on there, and then I'm gonna try to get back into doing one day on the weekend for all my other regular content. Okay, it says whisk all this stuff together, so we gotta do that. And I don't always do like all fabric scratching videos because they always get demonetized or YouTube takes them down, which is something new that they've been doing. I've already had 2 of my videos taken down that have been up for like years. So I try to break up the fabric scratching videos with other videos that I like to make, because I'm not trying to get my channel taken away. And that's why I also started doing the channel member exclusive content, because I can put more of that stuff on there, because the videos are being monetized by the channel member subscription. I don't have to worry about the ad revenue. But yes, I do have I made some channel member videos today. And videos and content for my other websites. Some content for Patreon, not like a whole bunch, because Patreon is just, I don't really like dealing with them. not the people who subscribe to me. Patreon, like customer support and stuff like that, just really makes me not, or like creator support really makes me not like using it all that often. But I do still put some content on there every month. For people who are on there, and then all of my older videos are on there too. And if YouTube let me know before they deleted the videos from YouTube, I would put those videos on Patreon, but they're like they're not even like going as far as demonetizing the video and then taking it down. I just get emails that the videos have been taken down and they've been deleted, so I don't have the video anymore. Add the flour mixture and whisk until just combined. Don't overmix. And it's just like such random videos. It's like somebody's like coming across them and flagging them. But it's like, you're the one who ended up on the video. Why are you mad at me? It came up and you're recommended for some reason. What? Whenever the videos get flagged, YouTube tries to, like, this is the clip that we decided made your video unwatchable or like inappropriate for YouTube, and it's like the stupidest part of the video. It'll just be like me sitting there, and it's like, okay, I can't exist? Apparently not. So this is a recipe that normally goes into cake pans, but that's not what we're doing today. We're gonna make a bunch of mini cakes, and I really wish I cleaned more of the circle pans since we're using this recipe, but I didn't. But yeah, that's why I've started uploading one POV of a fabric scratching video to like my main channel feed, and then another POV of the same outfit but a little bit more saucy to like channel members, because that seems to keep the videos up. And I bought panko crumbs the other day for some reason. Oh, now I remember. I was gonna say it for some reason and I don't remember why. But I do now. It's for another recipe that I like to do, but like dinner. And I'd really like to get into the habit of doing like a live stream on whatever day my content day is, because oh, I didn't put the eggs in. Yikes. How to do that. Or the vanilla. This is what happens when you talk and bake at the same time. 1 teaspoon. Where did I put? Okay, we got a half a teaspoon. On my content days, whatever day that ends up being, I have somebody to watch my daughter, because I can't really do this or any of the other stuff with her here. And she doesn't like nap regularly, so I can't like do this stuff while she's napping. And recently she hasn't been napping at all, so that's been super awesome to have to deal with. Uh-oh. And I could try to do it like at night, but that's just like too much. I'm pooped. at the end of the day. Now I gotta try to put all this stuff away so then I can lay out the pans. And all these mini pans, I make sure to clean them, wash them before I use them. Because all there is these really small, I'll show you. Here's a circle one. And then there's a rectangular one. The circle one's like a cupcake size. The mini pans are aluminum. And I've seen some people just not wash them, and that just gross. I wouldn't eat it out of there. So I'm not expecting anybody else to either. I always like to cook like I don't know. I cook with the same like care when I bake stuff for other people, or just even if it's for content and stuff like that. Because if I make stuff just for content, then I donate it. I will go to like the local police department and fire department, or the library sometimes has stuff for kids and toddlers and stuff. So that's somewhere else I'm gonna be donating any of the extra stuff I bake for content. Because we can only eat so much. And sometimes I bake stuff that I don't like, but I know other people like. But yeah, I always cook stuff with the same care. Whether it's for me or people I don't know, that I cook the food with for people I love, if that makes sense. Just because I don't know you doesn't mean you deserve less, so. Gotta keep these out because they're the decorations. I don't think I'm gonna have time to frost them though. So we might not use the decorations right now. And oh my goodness, I have so many like baking ingredients and supplies in there because I kind of just went a little crazy buying ingredients for all these recipes I wanted to do. So that pantry is jam-packed. And this is a huge pan I bought from Hobby Lobby to put all of my cake trays on. And then this is a cool one that I've had for a really long time at Skulls. It's a bundt pan. It's a bundt pan, and I just have to figure out a bundt recipe I actually like. So I have like a milkmaid outfit, but it's not really appropriate for YouTube. I posted it on my other websites. So maybe not Patreon, maybe just OF, but I don't really remember about Patreon. I'm really still trying to figure out my how many scoops per pan type of deal, and you'll see what I mean in a second. And it's all also dependent on the type of batter, because all batters rise differently, so they all fill up the tin differently. So these are some I already cleaned, and I have to rinse off the other ones that I have. And these are just a little cupcake size. But it was okay with ASMR just before. Oh! Maybe you're talking about the other maid outfit that I had that I don't have anymore. Somebody gifted it to me and I don't have it anymore. I thought you were talking about, yeah, something else. I'm just trying to rinse off these other pans real quick. The only kind of negative thing about using all these little pans, is sometimes they bend when I'm trying to clean them, and all I do to clean them is I turn up the water really as hot as it'll go, and I put them in the sink and I cover them with dish soap, and I just let them soak there in the dish soap. It's just prep time 20 minutes, and I've been on here for almost an hour. cook time 23 minutes, which is not how long these normally take because they're these little pans. I really don't think I would want to get into like full-size cakes because that's just too much for me. I'm gonna frost a full-size cake. Like I'm not like that type of creative, like with like designing the cake or anything like that. I mean, I'm sure I'd get better at it. Oh man, I just bent it. Better at it. In time with, you know, decorating and like seeing inspiration and stuff like that, but I'm just gonna stick with these little guys for right now. I need to rinse off one more rectangle. Little mini cake pans. There's a couple more left in the sink, but we'll fill those. So I did mention I'm still trying to figure out how much batter should go in each one. Especially when it's like a new recipe, because all cakes really rise differently. And I've seen where a lot of people use like a kitchen scale and just weigh it that way, but that's not really gonna work if you've never used the batter before, because it could, like one weight could fill it up to a certain line with one batter and not do it with another, if that makes sense at all, because not all the batters are the same. So we're gonna try 2 scoops in the circle tins, and this is quite a bit thinner. Oops, not on my pan. Quite a bit thinner, probably because of the pumpkin puree. Because this recipe didn't use a whole lot of liquids, and I'm assuming it's because of the pumpkin puree. Because a lot of other, you usually use like milk or something in there, or like more oil or melted butter. It does smell like pumpkin pie, but it's a little bit more, maybe just because I know it's in there, but to me it smells a little bit more cinnamony than a regular pumpkin pie would. The one show I really like watching is the Great British Baking Show. started watching it on Netflix a couple years ago, and then now I just try to watch the newest seasons whenever they put them on there. I'm not totally sure how they work, like, money-wise at all, because these people are, like, baking for, like, weeks at a time, testing all these recipes at their home, and then they come and do the recipes for the TV show. And they don't say there's a cash prize at the end. All the prizes is a cake stand from the seasons I remember. And it's just engraved because you won the Great British Baking Show. And I'm just like, uh-oh, I dropped some there. I'm just like, there has to be a little bit of a monetary advantage, because like most of these people work, like they have jobs and stuff. So I don't know what the dealio is. Maybe and they all have to, like, if they don't have them already, they have to buy, or maybe they're provided to them, but all the bakers, like, pretty much bring all of their, like, specialty equipment or specialty pans and stuff like that, because when you watch them bake on the show, none of them have all the same like baking sheets or pans or tins or anything like that, or molds. They all look like they have all their own. So that's expensive too. So maybe they just give them, like, reimburse them for what they buy to make on the show or something. I don't really know. Because that's like kind of a big financial thing to take on for no money. But all the people are so, like, nice on there, and I definitely think it would be a different dynamic if it was, like, a US based show, because of this is so I definitely think if, like, it was a US based show, the contestants would be a lot more aggressive with each other, maybe. I don't really think it would be a popular show here if there was no, like, cash prize. Because that seems to be the whole idea behind a lot of American shows, is they all do something to get money. But I like it because, yeah, they're all competitors, but they're all really nice to each other. And if one contestant finishes their dish early, but somebody else is having a hard time, like, finishing decorating their stuff, the person who has finished, there's a lot of, like, car noises right now for some reason. The contestant that finished will go and help the contestant that is behind or struggling, which I think is cool, because that's something I would do too. But like I said, they're always super nice. In the season that I'm watching right now, there actually was an American guy on there, but the only reason why he was on there is because he was married to somebody from somewhere in the UK. I don't know what the requirements are, like what areas they actually take contestants from. But some of the people have really, really thick accents where it's kind of hard to understand. They're always laughing. So you know they're having a good time. Oh. So I can normally keep all the pans where they are when I originally set them. But this is just so, like, soupy. Oops. That one got dirty. That I'm not even gonna risk trying to get the batter. Other places. So I'm doing 3 scoops in the rectangle pan and 2 scoops in the circle pan. The last time I used the rectangle pan was when I made my lemon cakes. And it was too much, but that was a lot thicker cake mix. This isn't gonna make 3, so I'm not gonna do it. A lot thicker cake mix than these. And this didn't fill up a whole lot of pans. I do have to clean a couple of these because I got the batter on them. I think if I make these again, I'll only use the circle tins because these just, it didn't make a whole lot of batter. So, yeah, last time I made the cake ones, I used 3 of this medium scooper in the rectangle and 1 of my big scooper. And that one like poofed up really big and was a little bit too much for that cake. Now we gotta clean everything up. I don't know if I should start dinner yet because I don't know what time they're gonna be home. And I would make my little, actually I have another pan that's big enough. I can make more of my crostinis, which are super delicious. Oh, and I forgot to post about these. A subscriber gifted me these bodysuits. I have yet to try them on, but I'm going to. And I really appreciate you gifting them to me. Yeah, that way. I'm not 100% sure when they were bought, when they were mailed or anything like that. I get all that stuff to my P.O. box, which I'm not very good about checking. So I did just get these the other day. So if you sent them to me and you're like, what the heck? I did just pick them up and I did just get them, and I really appreciate you sending them to me. Ooh, it does say in here October 18th. So yes, thank you for sending me these. The gift says, have a wonderful day. Oh, they're home. So, love your ASMR. And there's a message. There's a message. Hope you have an amazing day, and I hope you also have an amazing day. So my family is home now. That means I'm gonna have to end this live stream. But I'm really glad we got to spend some time together today, and like I said, I really hope I get to do this again soon, more often. And I'm thinking it's gonna be one day during the weekend. I know this was really impromptu and I didn't let anybody know I was gonna do this, but that's because I didn't know I was gonna have time to do this today or at all. So once these are done and once I have them all decorated and everything like that, I will post them because I know you guys are super anxious about knowing what they look like. But yeah, I'm really glad we got to spend this time together, and I hope to see you again really, really soon. Bye.